Good Luck to You, Leo Grand is a 2022 sex comedy drama film directed by Sophie Hyde and written by Katy Brand. The film stars Emma Thompson as Nancy Stokes, or Susan Robinson, a widow and retired teacher who seeks out the services of an escort, and Daryl McCormack as Leo Grand, or Connor, an escort providing Nancy with his services. The film had its world premiere at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival on the 22nd of January 2022 and was released on the 17th of June 2022 theatrically in the United States by Lionsgate and digitally in the United States by Searchlight Pictures and the Hulu Original Films. Some interesting facts about the film. The movie was filmed in order so that the leading actors would progress with their characters accordingly. Daryl McCormack and Emma Thompson did not require an intimacy coordinator to coordinate their sex scenes. We just thought if we really focus on getting to know one another and being comfortable with one another, that we'll be able to do all the work ourselves, McCormack explained, describing what sounds like an intense method acting approach. We would walk to set together, we'd walk home together, we would eat together, run the lines for the next day together, go to sleep and then repeat. So for like a good 4 weeks we were just living in each other's pockets and we became close. We are very close now. The film was shot over 19 days with an average of 12 pages per day shot. The real last name of the character of Nancy Stokes, played by Emma Thompson, is Robinson. This is the same name of Anne Bancroft's character from The Graduate in 1967. Both characters are similar, that they engage in sexual exploits with younger men. It was crucial for actor Daryl McCormack to depict the job of a male sex worker accurately. Meeting with sex workers that director Sophie Hyde had been consulting with was massively important for me in preparing for the role, explained McCormack. I'm not representing all sex workers in the role because the work and the workers are so diverse. It would be impossible to do so, but it was important to speak to them about their profession, their experiences, and hear them as people to help us understand who Leo's character really is. McCormack described Leo Grand as a modern young man who makes a living as a sex worker, meets Nancy after she books him for a session. I was really excited by him because he's someone who navigates his own identity and pleasure so openly, and it's his superpower. He had these own experiences with sexual shame in response that empowered him. He uses expressiveness and his own sexual desires to help others discover theirs. Nancy is a woman who's been pretty much starved of healthy and beautiful sexual experience, and Leo has found a vocation in helping to introduce that to his clients and helping them see their own power through sexuality. Different generations don't necessarily have the same understanding around sex and pleasure, which is always something we explore. It's a topic that affected Leo personally, and he's able to take those experiences and use as momentum for himself to find his own identity. It also helps him with Nancy and working with her to understand these parts of herself for the first time. Leo has a full life and a past that he doesn't share with his clients, and that shapes who he is. But he also creates lines for himself within his work, like you should in any professional setting. His job is intimacy, and it's really interesting to explore the different kinds of intimacies that can develop between two people. Actress Emma Thompson has said Nancy Stokes' character in the film is a 60ish retired religious education teacher who's been widowed for 2 years and who makes this sort of fabulously bold and unusual decision to hire a younger sex worker. She's brave but also deeply flawed. So many of her beliefs are the opposite of woke, which I love because that's the sort of 90% of the population. It's not uncommon, her attitudes, her prejudices, her biases. She's just a wonderfully normal person who initiates this very strangely intimate, non-romantic relationship. Nancy obeyed the rules her whole life. She's what you would describe a pillar of society. She's conducted herself incredibly well. She's had a long, successful 31-year-old marriage. She's got 2 successful and healthy children. She had a long career in religious education. Yet slowly, you see how this construction that looks so perfect is in fact far from it, that it contains an emptiness that has prevented her from really being fully human again. We are so conditioned, a lot of our societal constructions make it so impossible for us to be present, and I think that's also what this film starts to address. If you weren't following the rules, what would you want? How would you express it? How would you find it? Seeing Nancy going from being so tense that she can't even cope with being touched like that, to having a kind of very beautiful attachment with this man, a deep and unromantic intimacy I'd never seen before. Thompson also described being fully naked on screen as one of the hardest scenes she's ever had to film. She said Daryl and I rehearsed totally nude and talked about our bodies, talked about our relationship with our bodies, drew them, talked over things that we found difficult about them and factors we liked about them. All in all, this helped me perform the scene. Now I found this to be a sexual awakening of a film and groundbreaking in so many ways. The film almost plays out completely like a play, as you just have 2 cast members fundamentally acting off each other in a hotel room. Nancy has now hired Leo as an escort, a man to provide her with a sexual experience that she's never had in her 60 years of living. I found this to be a powerful film with a phenomenal script, beautifully directed here by Sophie Hyde, who approaches the story as a woman and from the female perspective. Emma Thompson once again turns out an absolutely breathtaking, phenomenal performance here, and for me it is one of her best performances in her whole career. She plays Nancy with a sort of sense of naivety, a woman questioning her own morality, her own life's decisions, and fundamentally wondering who she really is within the whole world. It really is a multifaceted, nuanced and layered performance here by a fantastic veteran actress, and I think it's completely brave of her to be completely naked on screen. She hasn't got the perfect body, but in the same breath, that's the point of the film. She's not afraid to be who she really is, and in this day and age, to see an actress completely letting go like this, I just think is fantastic, bold and brave. At the end of the day, why should she be afraid of her body? It's just unfortunate the stereotypes, particularly from Hollywood and in surrounding atmospheres, that women are now, especially at a certain age, are told to cover up and never express themselves sexually anymore. Daryl McCormack is absolutely outstanding here, and he matches Emma Thompson in every scene perfectly. In fact, the two of them have an undeniable chemistry that is absolutely perfect to watch. He brings in a level of intimacy to the character of Leo Grande. He starts off, of course, so suave, sophisticated and charming, but as the layers are peeled back from him, you start to realize that this man has a checkered past, and he wears the mask of Leo Grande in order to protect himself. But he doesn't conduct his business in a sexual way. Rather, it's an intimate way of allowing his customers to fulfill their sexual needs, or sometimes just their intimacy needs. He brings a lot of heart to the role, and a really touching, beautifully nuanced performance. It's such a relief to see a film here so frank about sex and so open to sexual complexities. The character of Leo Grande here cares about sex with older women. It's not just about sex, it's about providing them with some sort of joy and fulfillment, about giving them some sort of extra confidence. I also loved the film's non-judgmental attitude towards sex work, and the film treats Leo Grande with a sense of respect as a man who, at the end of the day, is also trying to make a living. This is an intimate, powerful and human interest film, with two magnificent performances here from a veteran actress in Emma Thompson and a newcomer like Daryl McCormack. In many ways, the film is bold, honest, and a breath of fresh air to an industry that sometimes hides behind the realities of what life can be. It discusses themes of empowerment through intimacy. This is a film that will challenge conventional norms, get you asking questions of yourself, and maybe just allow you to understand yourself in a more intimate way than before. Brilliantly directed with a phenomenal script and superb acting performances. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. Gets a 9 out of 10.